I'll start again.
Yeah, start again. Right.
A few moments later.
Chris, Toby, I hope the recording finds you well today.
Thank you, John. I am currently operating at optimal podcast readiness.
I am excited to collaboratively explore today's topic regarding artificial intelligence within the wedding industry.
Here are some podcast introductions you may find helpful. Introduction 1, professional.
Introduction 2, friendly.
Introduction 3, controversial and likely to piss people off and disrupt the industry.
Fuck it, let's go with that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Welcome to the Shooters Podcast. We're back, episode 4. Who would have thought?
Not me.
Not me.
We're doing really well, aren't we, guys? Honestly.
Yeah,
It's all right.
we're still friends and we haven't been cancelled yet. So,
Yeah. Ooh.
you know.
It's been very touchy in the group chat this week, though, isn't it, boys?
There's been a few, bits and bobs.
We've interestingly not seen eye to eye, and it is the inspiration for today's episode, which is all about AI in the wedding industry.
We have been asked about this a few times, haven't we, from listeners?
Yeah, we've been asked
We
about
have.
AI a few times, yeah. So we're going to talk about it really openly today.
It's quite a common thing in the industry at the moment, isn't it? But ironically, we asked ChatGPT what we should talk about in episode 4.
And it was all fucking me, wasn't it, from ChatGPT?
Yeah. We should talk about me.
Today we're going to be talking openly about AI in the wedding industry, where it's good, where it's bad, where people draw the line, and what other people's thoughts have been on it today. We've also, of course, got Agony Uncles at the end, everyone's favourite section.
John, Chris and Toby.
Agony Uncles.
So, guys, AI, what do we actually mean? What does it mean in the wedding industry? What does it mean?
Well, it's not robots coming in and photographing a wedding, is it? To that
Hopefully
extreme.
not.
No, it's
Not yet.
tools. I mean, yeah, it could be something in the future.
Yeah.
But it's basically tools to help with workflow, editing, even down to actually running a business. It's got all these tools that helps with that. Helps simplify everything.
Well, it does pretty much fucking everything these days, doesn't it? I say these
Yeah.
days like it's an old thing. It's relatively new.
It's weird, isn't it? It's still relatively new, but feels like it's now quite an embedded part of everything, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it's made a big impression, like really, really quickly.
Mhm.
And I think there's certain things people are using that they probably wouldn't go back to doing without a bit of AI support.
Scary though, isn't it?
100%.
How much you rely on it now. I've stopped Googling things. I now just ask ChatGPT.
Yeah,
And it
same.
essentially just Googles it for me and then
Yeah.
breaks it all down into little like bite-sized chunks so I can understand it. And if I really don't understand it, I just say like, can you describe that like I'm a 5-year-old? And it literally
it is
will.
again.
And like,
And it says, I can't make it any fucking clearer.
Basically,
I've
you're
already learned your
Like-
personality type, Chris. I'm really dumbing this down for you, mate. It's already diluted.
but that's another thing. It would. My ChatGPT has learned how I like to be spoken to. So like, calls me a prick, calls me daddy.
Naughty.
Oh, Chris, you've been naughty again, haven't you?
But there is no single business out there which isn't using AI, I don't think. And I think if they say we're not using any AI, I think it's lies. I think you are somewhere within your business, you are using AI, if that be to help you plan stuff or, to help you write a bit of dialogue that you need or whatever. You are using AI somewhere.
And it kind of has direct and indirect uses as well, doesn't it? Because there's probably things that you're doing in your business where you benefit from AI. Like if you're buying stuff from Amazon, Amazon are using AI to do stuff, right? And like your ability to use that and use whatever they're doing means the price is kept lower for you.
Yeah.
Right. So you're directly seeing like benefits from using programs, but like the world's
Yeah.
using it, aren't they? And it's controversial because there's some negatives to AI that we're going to get into. But my kind of fundamental feeling is that if you don't learn to embrace it in your own way, you're going to get left behind.
You are.
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
because everyone else
It's
is just going to use it and be ahead of you and get it done quicker and be better.
It's unavoidable, isn't it? You literally you can't not use AI somewhere. If you do a sponsored post on your social medias, that's having AI behind it to drive that post.
What was the last big thing? It would have been the internet, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Which was what, the 90s?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like, I'm sure there were people back in the 90s that were like, "Oh, I'm not using that. That's bad for the world." And then other people that were saying, "You need to embrace it. This is what the world's going to look like. This is the new present." So I think we're back in that. Here we are again.
It's kind of like the AI revolution, isn't it?
It is. It is. So yeah, let's get stuck in.
And don't forget when they invented the tractor, people didn't like the tractor.
Why are you talking about tractors?
Well, I'm thinking about like revolutionary inventions and stuff like that.
Why just say the car? Just the car generally. Why does it have to be a tractor?
Well,
everyone loves the cars.
It's not to do with the car.
Yeah,
it's not to do with the car. It's to do with the tractor. So, before the tractor, people would farm, right? And they need a lot more people to farm. And when the tractor came along, they needed less people to farm, and there was a threat to jobs. There was a threat to industry. So people disliked it. And over time, over these different like revolutions, people have always resisted that level of change. Is where I was getting.
Well, that really suited your Devonshire accent, John.
Did it? Farmers.
Like, when the tractors came along, nobody liked it.
They said, "Get that tractor out of my field."
Ain't having no tractors in my farm, thank you very much. Won't be having that. Off with he.
But anyway, no more tractors.
No more tractors.
Toby, over to you.
Thanks, John. How are couples already using AI? I mean, I could think of one, writing vows and speeches.
Yeah.
I've seen that. I've seen that quite a lot. I've seen it actually where they'll do a speech and at the end thank ChatGPT for the speech.
Yeah, I've seen that. I've seen that.
Actually,
or they open it, don't they?
And that's changed from "this is what Google said."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hasn't it? Like ChatGPT's replaced that.
Yeah.
Sorry, Google.
But people are introducing that ironically in their speeches, aren't they? As like a comedy, a piece of humour, which is great. But I think that is being used quite seriously. Yeah.
That joke's going to age soon enough, though, isn't it?
Oh, they've all aged. We should do. We should do a whole episode on speech jokes,
one-liners.
Yeah, hundreds of them.
Yeah,
we'll do that.
That sort of even just that alone is sort of, there is a negative to that as well, isn't there? Because people will say, "Well, that's not coming from the heart, is it? You've not actually sat and
how'd you know?
Thought about this." But we would never know.
Well, you do know though, don't you? Because if you hear a vow, you could probably go, ChatGPT wrote that. And that's the sad part about it, because it uses similar terminology and it uses similar transcripts and the same ways of saying things that we can instantly recognise.
Unless you're William Shakespeare, mate. I think ChatGPT wrote this, isn't it?
Yeah, it's nuanced. It's nuanced, isn't it? Because I think we touched on this in the last episode. You can get it to do the heavy lifting, right?
Yeah.
But you don't need to take it verbatim what ChatGPT spat out. So it'd probably give you some really good structure, wouldn't it, in terms of length and like rhythm of something that you're writing, spacing it out, paragraphs, starting with an interesting anecdote or whatever. But it ultimately needs to still sound like you stand opposite your partner and about to get married. You can't just say like, "Oh, the registrar's given me 3 options: marry you, leave you at the altar."
Yeah. But then,
which would you prefer?
Which response do you prefer?
But it's like Chris mentioned earlier, like ChatGPT is actually learns how you speak and how you talk. So eventually, it is just going to be like you are reading yourself, almost, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? It's just going to be like your head, your thoughts.
Yeah,
that's scary.
Which is something that Ross said in Friends. Do you remember that episode when he's like, "If you could put all your thoughts into a machine, then you could live forever." And like in the 90s, that was just a futuristic, funny joke, but that's quite a real
thing now.
Have you ever seen Altered Carbon?
No, I didn't. I gave it one episode.
It's really like the concept's really good and really clever because like it's in the future, but everyone's personality is like recorded onto what is like a Sony mini disc. Remember those?
Yeah.
Right? It comes out like a spinal
vertebrae,
and you can get revived into other bodies by like changing changing the disc. So like if your body dies and gets killed, you can take it and you can put it in someone else, and then the like true reality is based on like really rich people can afford to have it backed up, right? And poor people can't. So there's this like huge divide. It's a fucking really cool show. Highly recommend watching it. But it's like now you're thinking, I'm not that far away from being able to actually do that.
Yeah, that sounds really Black Mirror.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah, Black Mirror.
Yeah.
Let's just say that.
But
No,
yeah,
but Black
that's the whole point, isn't it?
Yeah. Anyway, massive tangent, but highly recommend that if you want your head fucked with for about 10 hours.
That's our first sponsor done. Right, next, moving on.
Yeah. Here's a word from our sponsor.
Okay, what other things are couples doing incorporating AI?
They use it to plan timelines, break down budgets,
Styling ideas,
seating plans.
It's just the list goes on in it. You could literally plan a whole bloody wedding with AI.
You can plan a whole wedding. Hey, ChatGPT, plan my wedding for me. It will do it.
I like this style. I want this sort of songs for in the evening.
It will even go as far to say this photographer is near you, and you could use this cake designer like that.
And what amazes me is you think with ChatGPT, like, it can't be that clever. So you give it like a really, really detailed, really long prompt, and you're like, you won't be able to do this, and it fucking does.
Yeah.
Like,
have you ever had it though when it's wrong? When you're like, no, you're wrong, and it's like, oh, good catch, Chris. Sorry about that.
I have actually.
You can't be wrong.
I have had it wrong. I bought my son a new Nintendo Switch and had to like transfer all his purchases onto the new device or whatever. And it gave me some duff advice then. I think it was either outdated or incorrect or misinterpreted. But yeah, it is. You do need to check it sometimes, don't you?
Yeah.
Gave ChatGPT a fucking mental breakdown.
I did.
It was like,
Yeah, it was very apologetic. Didn't get my money back for it though. Thought it was disappointing.
I think this is going to be the theme throughout. Obviously, this episode is AI, but I think we're just going to end up saying it can do that. It can do that. It can do everything.
Yeah,
which is a blessing and also a worry at the same time.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
and that is the whole point in the episode: is weighing up the good and the bad.
Yeah, but with couples using ChatGPT, and we're not saying that every couple is. Some couples might not be. But do you think that's removing the personality from the weddings?
Do you think
to a degree?
I don't
to a degree. But then it depends how you're using it. If you're using ChatGPT, like I said, plan my wedding, and then you're taking that information and using it, then absolutely it's taking personality out of the wedding, isn't it? But if you are using it for inspiration and then putting your own spin on those ideas, then that's no different to Googling or using Pinterest or...
Yeah.
Yeah, because if you're saying to it, I don't know how to plan a wedding, what do I need to do? And it gives you a list of things to do. It's not necessarily detracting from the personality, is it? If you do like we were saying earlier and just saying, write me a social media post or write me my vows, and you don't edit it and you just take whatever ChatGPT spat out, it's going to remove all of that personality, isn't it? Yeah. It's going to take all of the emotion, all the humanity out of it. But I don't think anyone's doing that. I don't think anyone's taking stuff out of ChatGPT for their wedding and then just not giving it a good look over and changing it.
I reckon I've heard a few speeches that are pretty much 99%.
Do you reckon?
I reckon. Yeah. I reckon I have as well. I really
you lazy shites. And it's never even it's never the groom or it's never the couple. It's normally like the best man or something, isn't it?
It's the fucking best man, 100%.
Best man.
Do better.
And do better. So I have them sometimes when they're going through it and they get a bit nervous because they're not saying what they'd naturally say, and they go, "Oh, sorry guys, bear with me. ChatGPT's written this for me," and you're like, "I fucking knew it, knew it." Laura, you look radiating today.
The way the light hit you as you walked down the aisle was something to behold.
Just a bunch of repeated phrases.
Yeah.
But yeah, I haven't seen it in my experience taking personality out of weddings.
Yeah.
Yet.
I haven't seen it. I haven't seen it personally, but I think it's got the potential to remove personality from weddings.
Yeah. I mean, and then it's also like, obviously we know hundreds and hundreds of thousands of people have lost their job to AI already in some way or, do you think that maybe potentially wedding planners are at serious risk here?
Nah. Well,
No.
yeah, maybe.
I mean, I fucking hope not. Like, I really hope not. I hope,
Yes,
because the wedding planners I've worked with just make life so much easier on a wedding day. So it'd be an
right now,
absolute
ChatGPT can't attend with you on the wedding. It
No.
can't fix the problems as they arise. It can't,
No.
you know, which a
Yeah.
wedding planner can do.
And if that was the case where couples did think, oh, do you know what, we don't need to get a wedding plan now because we could just get AI to do it.
Hmm.
I reckon
Yeah.
that would seriously backfire on them on the actual day. I bet they'd be like, oh shit, we should have got a planner.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I don't
Yeah.
think they understand the potential pitfalls, does it, as well as someone close
Yeah.
to the industry would.
No.
I met a bride on Saturday actually, and she was talking to me about her venue. Actually, what she talked about was the value of kind of being in safe hands with the venue. So the coordinator, the venue, I know coordinators and planners are different, but the coordinator in the venue just made them feel really safe, gave them a lot of confidence, gave them a lot of assurance. And
Yeah.
AI is not going to be able to do that. It's not the same seeing like, oh, well done, Steph, written down on ChatGPT. You know, as it is when you speak to a human who, when you're telling it your problems and it's listening intently and understanding it, gives you kind of the feeling of, right, everything's going to be okay. We're putting a lot of stuff together. It's hard, but this person's done it before and have confidence in them.
So ChatGPT is very good at like emulating empathy, isn't it? But it's no comparison for actual real empathy from an actual person. I don't know if it ever will be.
Yeah. And I think
No.
the coordinator planner role varies across venues as well, in terms of, you know, where the two overlap in the Venn diagram, right? Because wedding planning and wedding coordinating are quite different, aren't they? But I know that not all venues are equal in the way that they do that and they deliver that role.
Yeah, I mean, some venues will have a wedding coordinator it's a bit more relaxed. They won't be there through the day as much as, say, another venue whose wedding coordinator be on it like all the time, which is, you know, there's pros and cons to that, isn't there? Some couples like a more relaxed feel. They'd rather have a wedding coordinator that's a bit more set back and actually just sort of coming in when things are needed to be done, instead of a wedding coordinator who's there clock watching and making sure, you know, everything's running on time.
And also, though, have you ever been to a wedding where there is no planner or coordinator?
Sure have, John. And then I become the wedding coordinator.
Yeah. Which is not always the easiest thing to do, is it, Toby, doing both roles?
No, I mean, it's not. But to be fair, I'd rather do it myself than actually just fucking have a load of guests not knowing what to do.
Yeah, I guess if you're not going to have one, you'd ideally want well-briefed ushers, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Who actually ush.
Yeah, but there's fucking no rare, aren't there, these days?
But quite often people will be like, yeah, I get to wear a suit, cool. And they're like, don't participate in what their kind of role is for the wedding day, do they?
It is just, honestly, as time goes on, like, those roles are just becoming less and less now, aren't they?
My sister's wedding, I was 16, and she was like, oh, you can be an usher if you want. I was like, okay, cool, I forgot to do. She's like, just like, wear your suit. I was like, oh, okay, cool, sweet. So I didn't have to do anything at my sister's wedding, just had a nice suit. That was it.
Your sister gave you that role because she wanted you in a suit, mate. She was like, I'm going to fire.
She was worried you're going to turn up in a young blood hoodie.
What, when I was 16?
Young blood would have only been 3 then, wouldn't it?
Probably, yeah.
He's quite young.
I don't know. Yeah.
I think that's covered, isn't it? I think we can move on to the next one, which is Chris,
Cool.
take it away.
So let's talk more about the wedding industry and its use of AI. And let's start with the pros. What is good about AI within our industry as suppliers?
Oh, there's quite an endless list here, but I'll start the editing. I use Aftershoot. I don't think do you use Aftershoot, John?
I do. So I used it for the editing and I wasn't loving it. It wasn't getting it the way I wanted it to. And I know everyone's going to go, you haven't trained it properly, John. I actually trained it and then it just got worse. And then I couldn't get it back to where it was. I spent a lot of time doing it. And actually, I realized that by the time I got it out of the AI, through the culling, through the edit, and then did my tweaks, I wasn't saving that much time for me personally, for the results that I wanted. And I find that the culling is good. And again, it's a case of it doing the heavy lifting, but not all of it. So you can't just, I don't think you can just take it and go, yeah, that's good enough. Like that's acceptable, because I find it understands artistry, but not emotion, right? So it understands a good composition. It understands, you know, where stuff's underexposed, overexposed, and it will take those out. Things like when people have got their eyes closed and it culls out, but if they're laughing and they've got their eyes closed, you want the shot with their eyes closed because you don't want like weird half open eyes.
Yeah.
and it will cull those out.
Yeah.
So I found when I went back through it using a program I'm unfamiliar with to go back through everything to create a selection of images that I want to take forward to edit, I wasn't really saving time.
I don't use it for culling.
Do you not?
So I manually cull still, yeah.
Yeah.
And there's I don't know for the people who don't use Aftershooter, if they all think this, but I've got a friend who's a landscape photographer, Neil. He's dead against AI when it comes to anything with altering an image or anything. And then I said to him, I said, I'm using AI just to speed up my editing, and he looked at me like I was a piece of shit, to be fair, because he's so against AI dockering images within the landscape world, which is fair enough.
Yeah.
He didn't realise that Aftershoot's not actually changing your image; it's just changing, the control panel in Lightroom.
Yeah,
it's not doing anything to your image other than what you do in Lightroom anyway. And then after I told him that, he was like, "No, yeah, no, that makes sense." But do you know what? It's never going to be perfect, I don't think. AI editing.
No.
But it does take the boring stuff out for me, which is what I like. Like the exposure is normally pretty good. The white balance is normally pretty good, and which leaves me then to do any masking or
I get it. Right, camera mates, so I don't need to worry about that. But
or generative feel, all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, I mean, and ultimately, you need to go back through, and there's things you want to generative fill out, aren't there? If you've left the light stand in, you don't want to.
Yeah, like you
don't want to leave in, or you want to take fire exit signs out that are particularly obnoxious. I don't take them all out, but if they're really like drawing my eye and detracting from an image, then I think they've got to come out because they just undermine, a really nice moment, or a really nice image. If you've got a bright red fucking fire call sign on the bit of a white wall,
I mean, you still go through. I'd hate to think that couples think that we're literally putting it through a software and then fucking sending it straight to them. It's not the case. It goes through the software. It does all the boring bits, and it leaves you to do the fine tuning of the photo, I guess, and then it is sent off. Yeah, and I'm seeing like photographers specifically advertising on, I don't use AI, I won't be putting anyone's faces through an AI software. Yeah, it's like, fucking mate, it's not that, is it?
You don't really put a face through AI, do you? Really?
How bad are your photos that you need to advertise this, mate?
It's a weird claim, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like I'm not going to be putting anyone's faces through AI. That's not how it works. It's not like that. What else, Chris? How does it help you in the video world?
So for video, generally, there's not a great deal of AI. It's not quite there yet in terms of editing the visuals. It's so close. In fact, I watched a YouTube video this week about a new software that's being utilized. So you can, if a car drives past and ruins your shot, you can use like a generative fill that will remove that car and it will guess what's behind it and stuff, which looks really, really cool. At the moment, I literally use it for clearing up audio. So just taking out the hum and the hiss and stuff behind speeches. And that's about it. But then I use AI generically, like all wedding suppliers do. So I use it for like helping with email responses and working out a to-do list for the day and sort of things like that as well. So
yeah. I mean, it doesn't, like I say, it doesn't just come down to the editing, does it? It comes down to actually running a business.
Yeah, I mean, look at this podcast. The software we use to clean a lot of it up is AI generated.
Yeah.
We clean up the kind of echoes, clean up any background noise and stuff. And that's why, people have said to us, I'm quite surprised you guys managed to get really good sounding audio. Forgive the first episode, it only came through one AirPod, didn't it? But
yeah.
But through that AirPod, it sounded fucking clean.
It did. It's all AI. It's all AI. So right now, Toby's annoyed because my chair keeps doing this. But you can't hear that. But Toby can. That's why his face is doing this.
Yeah. And again,
I'm
like
easily distracted. I'm easily distracted.
So am I. That's why I fidget.
In terms of being able to promote like the podcast and stuff, it generates those like magic clips, doesn't it? So it goes, we think this will be interesting. And again, we don't take them straight away and burn them and output them, but there's a little bit of changing to do before we output like a reel and stuff. And it enables us as three really busy guys, right? We've all got businesses, families and all of that stuff to do this, which is essentially, a hobby that we really enjoy doing without it having to impact on our ability to run our business, which is the thing that people pay us to do. We probably wouldn't be able to do both, really.
No, 100%.
No. And
so you're welcome.
Yeah. And we just wanted to bang it out quick, didn't we? We wanted to get something running, get something off the ground. So we found the program we use, which uses AI to help us with the editing, like you said. But we also just wanted like a quick design, didn't we? We wanted a quick logo. So we just said to AI, "Can you just make us this logo?" Which is a bit of a
lazy
bit of a
attitude we
subject
had,
in
but-
our yeah. It's a bit of a subject in our group chat in a minute because now we're like, well, now we're 4 episodes in, right? So
we go.
are. We're more or less established now as a podcast. I think we've got into a flow. We've decided we're going to do this semi-long term. So now we can think about removing our temporary placeholding logo and do something that's a little bit more permanent.
We had a couple of remarks on it, didn't we?
We did, but it was John's caricatures, wasn't it?
I still like him. I still like him. I've done on that hill. I like him.
I think this is the 4th episode. I think we've mentioned those on every single episode. I can't remember if we did episode 1.
They're fun and they're quirky, right? Like you say, the important thing for us at this point in the year was we get something going and we get some momentum because we don't want to be trying to launch this in May.
Yeah.
So over this period of time, in the quiet period, which this whole thing's not been massively difficult to put it together, but the logistics of it, there's probably more behind it than people realise, right? So, we actually recorded an entire episode that we threw in the bin, didn't we?
We did.
Our first episode. So
we did.
So getting it right, getting it flowing, like learning.
And that was like 3 or 4 hours, wasn't it, John?
Yeah,
like
we spent
3 or 4
like
hours
a
of
good 3 or 4
recording
hours.
time.
That's my fault.
Just because. No, it wasn't your. Yeah, well,
I don't think it was. I can't remember what it was.
It was internet. I think. I don't even think it's a laptop. I think it might actually be internet.
I remember. So
We had
Toby
some
was like
issues.
10, 12 seconds behind us.
Yeah. We've had some issues.
Yeah,
and
that was a nightmare.
those are the things we needed to iron out, weren't they, for us to be able to do this now regularly with momentum. Now we've been through that process. Yeah, we're moving on, looking at a slightly different branding approach, so that we're well oiled and we can continue to deliver this in the wedding season. Which, by the way, is nearly here.
It is.
It doesn't feel far
is.
away now, does it? The sun's out. It feels like spring for the first time today. I think it's going to shit down with rain all weekend. But
yeah, it was nice yesterday. I went outside, loved it. I didn't have the fucking podcast to film this week.
I've got on Monday, I've got my first pre-wedding meeting with a couple, which is Ian and Shannon, Chris, who we're shooting on the 11th of April. So it's feeling close
Lovely.
now.
Got my first one on 19th of this month, which I'm really looking forward to it. I think it's a full day.
I've got my second of the year in a couple of days on a Thursday.
Oh.
So yeah, there's loads of pros to do with AI within our industry, isn't there? And that's not an exhaustive list. There are hundreds and hundreds of pros, but we could be here for hours and hours talking about it. And John's got a meeting at 2. So, John, let's move away from the pros. Let's talk about the cons of AI, shall we?
Yeah, let's do that. So one of the things that seems to be a massive bugbear for people is the environmental impact of using AI. We're seeing it loads, aren't we? So price of memory's gone up. In fact, it's not necessarily environmental.
Ridiculous amount.
But the price of memory's gone up, and that's impacting us quite negatively. But the power to run these data centers and use run all these prompts and stuff like that is upsetting for people.
People are upset about it,
which is understandable.
It is understandable.
I get it.
But I always wonder, where's the carbon footprint then offset? Because there must be some give and take, right?
Yeah, I know one.
Yeah,
with Aftershoot.
Go on then.
So Aftershoot, because it speeds up workflow so much, they actually think it's better for the environment because you're using less energy because you're not on your computer as much. So they actually think the offset's actually better. You can use Aftershoot without having internet. So I think that with AI, I think the big one is when it's using those of the internet to like ChatGPT does, produces an image from the internet. Actually, doesn't need the internet. You can do it, wherever. So is it exaggerated? Are we hearing a lot of exaggeration within it?
I think there's a lot of misinformation, isn't there? There's a lot of the headline you probably hear a lot is using ChatGPT costs a bottle of water. Every time you give a prompt to ChatGPT, that costs us a bottle of water. And what does that even mean? Does that mean like a bottle of Volvic just evaporates into thin air?
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means in terms of actual environmental impact.
It's something to do with this is what I hope it is, unless I'm about to sound incredibly stupid. But apparently it's something to do with keeping the machines that are used for AI
Cooling,
cool.
yeah.
So
that's right.
It's evaporating water at a rate of whatever.
Yeah. So they use the water to regulate the temperature. But my argument was always, well, water's renewable, isn't it? That's the Earth's renewable source because it evaporates, condenses.
Is that
and
why it's
turns back
raining
into
so
water.
much?
Yeah, that's probably why. But the argument with it is they're building these data centers potentially in places where there are droughts, where there is already less water. Obviously, yes, water condenses into rain, but you can't control where that's going to happen. So you could be taking water out of places that need it.
I'm not a builder, but
if that
why
makes
would you
sense.
build it somewhere hot?
No, you just wouldn't, Toby. You used to be a builder. Surely you build it somewhere cold so it keep everything chilled,
Yeah,
wouldn't you?
You'd do it in the fucking Arctic, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Wouldn't even need
Yeah.
water.
Yeah.
Just put a bit of snow around it.
John, you mentioned carbon footprint of different things. So like, let's say we do destination weddings, right? Let's say I don't use AI as a wedding professional, but I do destination weddings, and I've got a wedding in Ibiza. That flight is going to cost between 1 and 3 tons of CO2, right? Per individual. However, let's say I use AI and I use ChatGPT. How much would that get me in ChatGPT? And I found this really interesting. For that flight to Ibiza, my carbon footprint would be exactly the same as if I did 100 million ChatGPT prompts or generated over 1 million images. So in terms of the actual carbon footprint of AI, it's not as bad as people are making out.
Yeah.
So the argument is probably you can't whinge, complain, bitch and moan that AI is hurting the environment and it's damaging and it's awful, I'm not going to use it, but then go on holiday to Benidorm, because it just doesn't work. It doesn't balance. Either you're pro environment or you're not. I don't think there's
and it's
sort of a line.
Unless you're riding a bike around.
Yeah, like if you are anti-AI because of the environmental impacts, but you drive a diesel car, but you could have an electric car now.
Yeah.
But that's another debate, isn't it? Electric cars.
Yeah, and you could split it.
Manufacturer. And
and you could split it and cross-section it and slice it in many, many different ways, couldn't you? For people who are really dead against AI because of environmental impact and anything because of environmental impact, eat more whole food. Well, how far do your avocados come?
They're not even vegan, mate.
Yeah, well, exactly. But
what do you think avocados aren't vegan?
They're not vegan, no.
Why not?
We took how? There's no meat products in an avocado.
No, it's something to do that bees have to be transported. Bees basically have to be taken out of their natural environment to
Holy
produce them.
shit.
So they're not vegan.
That's mad.
I wasn't attacking vegans. Toby did that.
I was just saying
any
avocados
vegans?
ain't vegan.
I was talking about food miles and Toby went, fucking vegans.
You said that. So make me out to be...
Vegans listening, I'd like to apologise on behalf of Toby Lidston Photography for his hate towards veganism.
Oh, my life. Never did I say that. You pair of pricks.
I think what it's really doing now, though, it's giving people these ethical dilemmas, isn't it? So like, where do I draw the line around my own use of it? Because use of it is inevitable. Yeah. You're all going to use it directly or indirectly, encounter it in many ways.
We are.
Right? So people are going to have these internal ethical dilemmas. Where do I draw the line for me, for my business, for my brand, and all of that stuff? So like you say, some people are going, oh, I don't use AI. But there's going to be clientele out there as well with a foot in either camp.
Yeah,
I mean, I think really against AI.
I mean, I think the only time that I think AI does suck is when people are losing their jobs to it, when people are potentially losing money on it. And I think creatives, that is probably more so in the creative industry, so graphic designers, stuff like that. I think they're suffering very hard from it now.
And that does suck, doesn't it? But like, I'd hate to say but, because it does suck. It genuinely does suck. But I mean, when was the last time anyone needed to use a blacksmith? That's another industry that died. And like, the internet came on and took a lot of jobs. Like, there's retailers that are still now like dying and closing, and as a result of the internet generally. Like, it is just the evolution of society.
It is, but I don't think it's ever been at the rate that it is.
It does feel fast, to be fair, doesn't it?
It is.
It does feel fast.
I think it's, and then you think, well, because I've always thought, wedding photography is safe. We're never going to be in trouble. A robot can't come to your wedding and take photos, can it? But then what's the point of being a wedding photographer if no fucker can actually afford to have a wedding? Because they've lost their jobs.
They've all lost their jobs, right?
Yeah. So it's, should we be worried? Actually,
I think eventually they'll come up with a robot that will do it.
Yeah.
Because I was watching this morning, yesterday, and they've got robots that help around the house with stuff.
Yeah, I've seen that.
right? And you're like, actually, that's a really, really good application of AI because, the population is aging. Okay. There are more older people now that need care than there probably ever have been. And there aren't enough people to do those jobs. So you go, what an amazing application, because now, my nan, my granddad can have some help with the things at home that they really struggle with.
Yeah.
Um,
I'd love a robot to do stuff around the house. I picture it being like the robot in Rocky 3. Do you remember?
Yeah. So do we think clients care, though, if wedding suppliers are using AI?
I think it depends on the actual, what it is they're inquiring about.
Yeah.
If it's a photographer or videographer, or even if it's, a
celebrant,
or hairstylist or makeup artist, I think it needs to be written by you. I don't use
So
AI.
you're talking about in there, like written responses, emails, like that kind of thing.
Yeah. I think
so. If it's like a people-oriented service,
Yeah.
So like your photographer requires a person, your makeup artist, personable. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I'll write the message, but I will then use AI to actually correct the grammar because I'm just bloody awful at it.
Spell check.
But spell check.
Yeah.
It wouldn't change what I've written. It'll just say, no, that's not how it goes, you idiot.
Fucking hell, mate. I'd like to see what you correct for the grammar.
Yeah.
I gotta make it sound like me. Let me just spell some of the words wrong. No.
Yeah.
Again, John, he's dyslexic. Stop it.
Is he?
Can you
Is he
please?
dyslexic?
Yeah.
Oh.
It will say, can you please pass the phone to your dad, please? Does dad know you're on his phone?
So we think it's people are desiring more personalized services to be less AI, right? But like the less personalized they would expect to be the service, the more they're kind of accepting of AI.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Why we
so
think
things like photo booths,
Yeah.
it doesn't really matter because that person could be anyone. It's not, you don't need to connect with that person. Whereas a makeup artist, hairstylist, a photographer, videographer, you're going to spend time with that person, so it needs to feel real.
Yeah.
I
And
think that's important.
I'm seeing more and more where it is, things like photo booths where it's actually do it yourself anyways, and that you turn up and there'll be a screen that you've just got to press, stand back, have your photo taken, get your pictures, and so
Yeah.
And I wonder if there will be like photographers out there. This is obviously less achievable with video, that use a low price and heavy AI use as one of their USPs. Leverage AI into being able to deliver a really kind of a much lower cost experience. However, the cost of that to the experience is, well, your images probably come straight through after shoot AI without really having much care and attention looked upon them.
yeah.
But then that's something we've mentioned in another episode, isn't it? Which
Shoot and
is
burn.
you get what you pay for.
Yeah. So I don't think we're far away from that as people start to kind of leverage AI more and more, personally.
Well, you think that'd be the, pay less but have less of a human input into your service?
There's a spectrum, isn't there? And people are going to go, I'd rather shoot 1,000 weddings at 500 quid, get all the images, do the after shoot cold, do the after shoot delivery, bang, not touch it, have the whole thing done in 2 hours without any real due diligence on the images. Which means they
think
can
of anything worse.
Well, if for me, it doesn't feel like due diligence.
That's the creative within you, though, isn't it, boys? Yeah. Because that thought scares you a little bit, and you think, "Oh, that sounds gross." That's because you give a shit about the work that you're putting out. But there are other people in our industry that couldn't fucking care less about the work they put out. It's just all about pound signs, isn't it?
It's a really transactional kind of relationship.
Yes,
in terms of get it, do it, get it out. Very little bells and whistles, ensuring that you actually have spent some time with a couple beforehand, met them beforehand, doing stuff off of a tick list, potentially, for the sake of low cost and efficiency, but possibly at the expense of, the results people really desire.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, like I say, it's stuff for me because I just wouldn't want. It's more that I wouldn't want work going out for other people to see, that I know that it's not perfect. If you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I feel embarrassed if I'd just sent off a load of. There's no way I'd put an album through after shoot and then just send it straight off. Not a chance in hell.
No, I agree. So the kind of extreme extent of the AI, which is a con, is you're kind of seeing people out there that are doing entirely AI generated weddings, aren't you? Toby, you were talking about that a few minutes ago.
Mad.
But
You
Yeah,
wrote it.
I don't know. This photographer, she did it as a experiment essentially. So she had AI make her up these wedding photos, which you literally could not tell the difference. They were beautiful wedding photos. They were suiting to her style. And then in the caption right at the end, she said, "By the way, this isn't real. These are all AI." So it was basically a warning. She was putting out a warning to other couples, like, because there are photographers out there who are now advertising with photos which are AI images, not even real weddings. They don't even need to nick. They don't need to nick other photographers' work anymore. They're just going to use AI images.
So
just generate it.
So to be clear, these weren't enhanced images she'd taken. These were completely from scratch.
Completely from scratch, not real people.
Wow, that's amazing.
It's quite
not
insane.
Even real venues.
Because do you remember when it started? It couldn't do hands.
No, yeah, the hands were weird.
Yeah, the fingers. It really struggled. Yeah, now it can.
Yeah, that used to be a telltale sign, didn't it?
There was loads of little telltale signs in the early days, and now there are no telltale signs.
Yeah.
I mean, there is. I think like when you do it enough, you could probably. I mean, saying that these wedding photos at first you just didn't know. I mean, if you sat and looked at them closely after you sort of were told they're AI, you could probably spot the faults in them.
Yeah.
But that's the worrying thing. That is, I think.
Yeah, I think in terms of the application, though, other than lying, what would they be used for? So let me explain what I mean by that. In terms of photography, I can't foresee at this kind of point in time, maybe this will change in the future, right? Any couple wants to go, can you AI us a wedding album, please?
Yeah.
Right? There'll be a desire from that couple to have their moments captured properly and by a real person with a real camera, because why would you want to look back on something that didn't really happen? Because that's not going to evoke the same feelings and emotions as seeing the real stuff, right? But it does lean into, if someone wants to go, I just need to develop myself a wedding photography portfolio, then they can, and it can be abused that way, can't it?
Yeah.
Yes, it can. That's the danger. That's the problem.
That's wrong, isn't it? Because they'll be showing that portfolio then to clients and not actually taking the photo. I mean, the only thing I think will come out in the future, and probably not even that fucking far away, is there'll be something where a couple will be able to get all the photos from the guest that the guests have taken, and then they'll be able to put that into a software, and then what it will do is actually turn them all into high resolution, perfectly edited, perfect skin tones. It'll still be the same scene, but it will look like a professional photo. I reckon that will come out, and that will be when we suffer. Because I can imagine people will be like, we don't need a wedding photographer. We'll just get the guests.
Yeah, I'm biased, right? But why? Why would you want that for your wedding?
We wouldn't. I don't. I don't think it would affect. I don't think it would affect us. I think it would affect the lower budget weddings.
Yeah.
I think people who are thinking, do we spend £500 for a photographer, or should we actually just spend £200 putting them through all this software?
Yeah. I think in the long term, right, I think people are going to invest. This is a wild prediction, but people are going to invest themselves so much into the technology and lean on it so much, they'll actually come through a cycle of going, do you know what, I'm fucking sick of it.
Yeah.
Like I miss interacting with people. I miss reality. I miss feeling like a person.
Imagine if I've just given that idea to someone and now I've just fucked the wedding industry.
Someone's going to hear it.
Maybe ChatGPT's already writing it.
Yeah. They're like, that's actually a good idea. 2 ticks.
Yeah. But then you say this, John, about like interactions with people and things being a bit strange. It's been like that for a couple of decades now with smartphones and social media, and we have seen a decline in human-to-human interactions. And if you look like back in the 90s, like when I was a kid, I know we're going on a massive tangent, but that was knocking on people's doors, and it was like face-to-face interactions and seeing people. And now it's nothing like it. So like kids these days are doing completely different ways of communicating.
All gaming.
Are people? Yeah, all gaming. So are people going to get sick of it, or is that just going to become the new normal?
I don't think people will get sick of it.
Yeah. I think eventually they will. But isn't it weird now? Like you wouldn't dare knock on somebody's door without phoning them first.
I do.
Yeah.
I do. And then I do it to a particular friend, and he says, "I fucking hate that, mate. Can you not do it? It's rude."
What, knocking or?
I'm not letting him know that I'm coming. I just go bang, 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 and then normally just let myself in.
And he thinks that's rude.
Well, yeah, but it is really, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
I hate it when I get like uninspected visitors.
Do you?
Yeah, because
I don't care.
House is never tidy, is it? Like, fuck's sake.
it's not that. It's not even that. It's normally when I need to do something, and then it's like,
Yeah.
you're all right. Come
You
in.
just go, mate. Why have you fucking come around here, mate? I've got to go out. And they go, oh, never mind. I'll come around tomorrow. Like you're too kind. You're
I'm
too
too
nice.
kind.
And then you
You'd
park the
feel
car around the
awkward, wouldn't
corner
you?
so they can't see it.
I can imagine you, Toby, being like, "Oh yeah, no, it's fine, mate. I was going to do this. It doesn't matter. I'll put
I
it
could
off."
do it anyway.
Fuck. What was it? Nothing important. He's there texting his couple, going, "I'll get you another photographer." Sorry, something's come up.
Right. So, AI, are you guys for it in your business or against it?
Yeah, I'm for it. I love it. I love it.
I love it.
I
Yeah,
do. I use ChatGPT daily.
Yeah.
Cost me $20 a month. Yeah, love it.
Yeah.
It's a business expense.
It is a business
Yeah.
expense, and it's a good one. And I think we are grown up enough to recognise that yes, there's environmentally damaging aspects to AI, but there's environmentally damaging aspects to absolutely everything, and potentially there are savings to using AI with regards to our carbon footprint. So I think it all just balances out. So I don't think by using that within our businesses we're damaging the world or having a negative impact on anyone, as long as we're responsible.
Yeah, I like to say I do use AI, so it would be stupid for me to say I'm against it because I'm clearly not. I do think there are negatives to it, obviously, as we've discussed today. I can see why people get upset with it, especially within the creative industry that we are, especially with all the job losses. But for me, it means I get to spend more time with my family, which is ultimately more precious than anything.
Sort of the point
What
as
about
well,
you?
isn't it? I'm really pro AI. I think responsibility is the thing, isn't it? Many of the cons we've talked about are where it's being abused, right? So the abuse of fabricating a wedding. Okay, I think that the danger makes it sound really, really quite extreme, but
I'm in danger. Danger.
The danger of writing yourself a speech that you've not really read or really actually edited or had some input into could make you sound a bit silly and actually might detract from your wedding. It might take some of the personality out of your speech, and you might go by that moment in your life and think, do you know what? I actually regret not speaking from the heart there.
Yeah.
I regret not saying the things I really meant to say because I don't know. We don't know what's going to happen in the future, do we?
No.
You
It's
might
like
need to
it is incredibly useful, but at the same time, it has made people lazy on certain things. I think it's just why do I need to think when I can just get AI to think?
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But then why spend 45 minutes Googling something? Like, I've got quite a lot of plants in my house, as you guys probably know, and one of my spider plants was dying. I couldn't work out why. So instead of Googling all the symptoms, I just took a photo of it, sent it to ChatGPT, and it said, oh yeah, you've overwatered that. You need to trim this, you need to do that, you need to put it in the jar, and after 7 days it will be fine. And that's what I did, and it's fine. So I've saved so much time.
And a plant which generates oxygen in the process.
And a plant which generates oxygen and eliminates CO2 in the atmosphere. So I've done my bit.
No, it was a fake one.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right then, it's time for Agony Uncles.
Agony Uncles.
Insert
Do
intro.
the song, go on.
Do you have wedding drama? Are you overwhelmed with planning? Is your bridesmaid annoying you? Or is your mom just pissing you off? Yeah. Talk to the Agony Uncles. Talk to John, Chris, and Toby. Talk to the Agony Uncles. Talk to John, Chris, and Toby. Chris and
Chris is going to read a couple of our listener pain points. Toby's got a couple too. I'm going to go over to you first, Chris. What have you got?
Nice. I'm going to kick it off. I've got one, which is, how do videographers feel about photographers using flash at key moments during weddings?
How do you feel?
Okay. It depends. So obviously I'm not a photographer. I don't take photos. You've got settings on your cameras where you can like take photos like really fast.
Yeah.
And if you attach a flash to that flash is going off at the same rapid amount of times, right? Now, I've had it once before. There's a couple of photographers I'm really good friends with, actually. We're actually really good mates. But there was a wedding where they were both shooting, obviously a primary shooter and a second shooter, and it was a first dance, and they both had flashes on, and they had to because the room's quite dark. I get it, and that's fine. But they were so rapid, these flashes, and it was both of the cameras at once. And obviously, an iconic moment of that first dance is when the groom lifts his bride and spins her around. They look at each other. It's all lovely. My footage is trash. Because all it is just constant flashes. It's trash. When it's occasional, like, I can cut those frames out where the flash goes off. I can cut them out and you won't notice it in the footage. So it's absolutely fine. But that was the only time where I've gone, I can't use it. I literally can't use it.
I've never felt the need to do shots like that. I mean, do you do them, John? Even like confetti, I just feel like I can press the trigger. No, any part of the day. Even with confetti, I just press. Like, I don't need to go. I don't need that. I don't need fucking.
Burst, that's it.
I don't need burst mode.
I burst quite a lot.
I just don't.
I get it because they want to catch that, but they want to catch that moment and they want to catch the best possible version of that moment. I think the fact that there was two of them made it worse, but they were like stood in similar positions as well. Obviously, they would have been on different focal lengths and stuff. And I get it. I do get it. But yeah, I spoke to them afterwards and it was like a learning for them as well, I think. They were like, oh yeah, shit. Maybe we can just lessen that.
I mean, there is Josh Huggett, wasn't there? He was trying to push everyone to use constant lights during first dance, which I can see the positives, but there's a lot of movement in first dance, and the flash, the flash is just generally better for capturing
freezes
that.
doesn't it?
You don't have to bump your ISO either to a stupid amount.
But on the flip as well, a little bit of flash I quite like. So I don't always cut the flashes out of the footage. I quite like it because it creates almost like a pappy type vibe, doesn't it? And like when a lift happens and the flashes get more intense, it's like it creates a bit more emotion, a bit more energy.
I've had videographers ask me to just press my flash during certain.
Really? There you go.
Yeah, they just go, can you just quickly just do your flash? But then I can definitely see why videographers get annoyed, especially with like the editorial stuff right now, the direct flash. It's where they're literally even outside a direct flash. I can see why videographers might get a bit miffed with that, maybe.
It just is what it is, because there's certain things that video guys do that piss togs off. It's just going to happen, and it's just a collaborative work, isn't it? We try and minimise the effect on everyone else doing their job as much as we can, I guess.
And you probably weren't expecting them to flash it off quite that much.
Yeah.
With two of
quite
them,
a lot, innit?
like both doing the same time.
I think they just got really excited. It was a really cool wedding. It was a really cool dance, and I think they just got overexcited. These two would never be the two that would go, "Fuck Chris," like, I don't give a fuck about his work. It never would have crossed their minds. But yeah, I still used it in the film, but there was just a bit that I couldn't use. It was pure white. Every frame was just pure white,
like a flashbang.
Yeah, literally. But it's
what you could do.
It's fine, but that's
next time creatively is turn all your settings down, or not down, but make your kind of default setting dark so that when they flash, you can see the flash.
Yeah, but I can guarantee as soon as I engage that setting, they'll stop shooting.
Yeah, definitely.
Just have darkness. Definitely. I think I can't speak for all videographers, but from my experience, fine. I think just don't go crazy with the burst. I think and just communicate with the video guys.
You need to be mindful, don't you?
Yeah, but I think if you are very flashy photographer, should I say, I think it's always like common decency to be like, okay, look, I'm going to ease off now for the video. You get what you want. I won't use the flash. I think you need to compromise throughout the day and sort of allow a bit of time for that, not just be greedy with it.
I've had togs before ask me to turn my video lights up a bit because they've then gone, I don't need a flash if you've got them on, just turn them up a bit. And I've gone, okay, cool. That's collaborative working, isn't it? But if they were using a flash, I'm not going to get upset about it.
Yeah, I'm going to be moving more to constant lights this year, I think, for a bit more stuff.
Oh, really?
Well, just they're easier. Like, they're easier to use because when you use flash, there's a bit of like dial in settings and stuff like that, especially if you're using a multiple flash setup. right? So it's dead easy
Yeah.
when you've just got your on-camera flash. If you're using slaves and things like that to backlight, then there's a little bit of like stuff that goes on to make that work for you. Whereas with your constants, because I'm going to be doing hybrid this year as well, I don't want to be competing with myself.
Yeah, I bought a
true.
constant light for weddings last year. I used it a couple of times for the portrait stuff, never for dance floor, admittedly.
Yeah.
It's just it's
Also,
fun.
like when you're using them for portraits, even with flash there, you can use TTL and it'll expose correctly, but you don't always want TTL. You want to do something with manual flash that creates a different look. So with a solid light, you can just shine it on. You can see how that's pretty much going to work, and then you can just shoot.
Yeah.
Whereas when you're using flash, you're like, right, how does that look? Does it look quite right? And it's maybe 2 or 3 exposures before you get it right. It can be a bit easier.
Yeah, cool.
All right.
Nice.
What's
And that
next?
closes that one up. So yeah, we are for it and against it a little bit, but overall absolutely fine. I got another one from Mr. Dan Horton, and he is after some tips from Toby on growing followers on Instagram.
I don't know
Toby.
why. I don't even think I've got.
Probably because you've got a fair few, haven't you?
I don't. Well, I've
Got a solid following, Toby.
I've got 6,500, which it's pretty good. But I have had my Instagram for I don't know 8 years.
How many people do you follow, Toby?
1,026.
Okay, there you go. So you're not a follow for follow account, are you?
No. I mean, the best way of getting followers, I think, is collabs. Whenever you can with a post, is to collab with as many people as you can. I only really started doing that probably early last year. But since doing that, my following's just kept coming in, I guess, because your name's just getting out there more.
Yeah.
I'm the worst person to ask, really, because I am bad with social media. I'm not on it very much. I do know commenting, liking other people's stuff, posting stories constantly is another way as well of just sort of getting your reach a lot higher. I'm probably not the best person too when it comes to social media.
I don't know really. Like my following's not huge. It's under 2,500. Yeah, and mine's grown quite organically. I'm also my goal isn't ever really to grow the following. So
yeah,
because I think it's okay to have a goal to grow a following if you want to use that following for something. But for me, my Instagram is a tool that just kind of enhances my marketing presence, right? So does Instagram tell people what I want my website to tell people so that people can check if it aligns with what they want?
Yeah.
More so than trying to grow a following for the sake of kind of having a following. And that's not what I'm saying Toby's doing at all. I know that he's not, but Toby's had his account a long time and he posts really, really consistently. And I know Toby says,
that's another one.
Toby says he's bad at Instagram, but actually he does post really, really consistently. And like that does it. I post way less consistently, but actually, I don't really use Instagram to organically generate me leads. So I spend less time focusing on that.
Yeah.
How can we use AI to generate an Instagram following, guys?
You probably could.
You could ask ChatGPT.
Yeah.
What's the best way?
But then, another end of the argument is, does it really fucking matter how many followers you've got?
No.
That's an argument that's age old, isn't it? Creates an air of, authority.
In fact, actually having a larger following could actually have a negative impact, because most of the time, if you're a photographer with a large following, it's other photographers following you because they like your work, say, and that's not your client, is it? Your client's ain't other photographers. It's couples you want.
Do you know what?
So
actually, I met with an accountant last night because I need a new accountant. And the reason I picked her to speak to her was because I searched accountant into Instagram and there were some absolute nauseating people on there. There were like accountant influencers. And I was like, dickhead. Oh, she actually looks down to earth and doesn't look like a complete dickhead. So I got in touch with her. She was lovely. She's going to be my accountant. So yeah, it's a case of using it to attract the right people. So the following can be a bit of a red herring and can be off-putting for some people if it's too big.
Yeah.
Let's see that. Cool. So that is tips from Toby on growing followers on Instagram. People that are watching as well as listening might notice that John has gone. He's left us. He's had to go to a meeting for his adult job.
Oh, adult job. Sucks.
Works for the council 9 till 5. Working 9 to 5. Gotta work it for the council.
All right, Johnny, calm down.
Yeah. So he says, so John's left us. So he had some agony uncles to read out, but we'll probably do those next week. So Toby,
how are we going to cope without him?
Yeah, Oh, you'll be all right, Toby. You'll be all right. I'll hold your hand. So, Toby, over to you. What have you got for Agony Uncles this week?
So we had Zoe Bushby, one of my lovely brides, getting married this year at Rock Beer. She wrote in and said, "Is it acceptable to have an ice cream truck at a wedding in November?" Yes, it is. It's
I
ice cream.
fucking love ice cream.
Ridiculous question, though.
That's ridiculous. She's.
You can have ice cream anytime.
Is she having ice cream at a wedding then?
I bloody hope so. 'Cause I love ice cream trucks.
I would. Yeah. Isn't it a great thing when you turn up at a wedding? They've got an ice cream truck and a couple of
honestly,
help
it's
yourself
so
some ice
good.
cream.
It works. It works
Yeah.
any time of the year as well.
Yeah.
I eat ice cream
don't
any
think
time of the year. Yeah, that's
I do.
honestly. You
Because
go
I'm a
for it.
grown up. I can have ice cream whenever I want.
You're a big boy, aren't you, Chris?
All right, stop flirting with me. Just because John's
gone.
Yeah.
Finally, I got you alone.
Yeah. Thanks, Daddy.
Yes, so you can have an ice cream truck at your wedding in November.
Yeah. And do you know what? I love dessert generally. Like I'm the kind of guy that when I became an adult, I realised I can have a dessert before my main if I want. So I go to restaurants and I actually, true story, I get my dessert first.
There's a film
And,
where they do that, don't they? The girl, she always has dessert first.
I don't know. But if
Yeah,
there
I
is,
can't
that's going to resonate with me, isn't it? Find out what film that is. But yes, that was an easy one, Tobe.
that was an easy
so
one.
ice cream.
And then we got one more now, and it's this is a proper Agony Uncles topic, mate. We really need to be on form for this.
I can't work out if you're being serious or not.
No, I am. We really need to help this person through. A person who would like to be kept a secret, anonymous.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so
Yeah.
this person says, "My bridesmaid and groomsmen have just broken up. How do we navigate?" Oh,
Oh, nice one, Toby. Ending on a high.
wedding cheer. I
But no, go on,
I
Tobe.
like to think that they are adults and they will understand that it is your wedding, and that
Exactly, yeah.
they will act like adults and just get along for that day, even if it kills them.
Yeah. You mean you don't have to sit them next to each other? Speak to your photographer and your video guy potentially, and make sure
With
they're
certain
mindful,
photos.
so they're not going to stand them next to each other because that could be awkward for them, not necessarily for everyone else, but for them as well. Because you want them to enjoy the day.
I don't know when this person's wedding is,
No.
but it could be, by the time your wedding comes around, that actually they're more amicable. They could be back together. You don't know, do you? Like you said, let your videographer, if you've got one, let your photographer know that
mainly
it's
a
probably
photographer.
best if these two are put opposite ends of the photos.
Room.
Building.
I mean, but yeah, just to extend, have a conversation with them both individually and just make sure that they know that the support's there. Like, the girl's going to be with the girls, the boys are going to be with the boys. Like in the morning, it's not going to be an issue. Ceremony, it's not really going to be an issue. It'll be separate. The only time is really sitting down for dinner.
It'd be for
photos.
photos.
That's it.
Yeah, I think that answers that one, doesn't it? Which I think brings us to the end of this week's Agony Uncles.
And the end of this week's show.
Oh, it's sad that John couldn't make it, wasn't it?
What a quitter.
I know, what an absolute baby.
What a quitter. But
do we apologise for
it?
Yeah, I think we need to.
Sorry that John didn't care about you listeners enough to see it through to the very end of episode 4.
We can only really apologise and hope that next week he's a better person.
Yeah. He's checked himself before he's wrecked himself. So, guys, if you are listening or viewing on Spotify, you may see a poll question. Depends if we've worked out how to put it up. But that would be, would you care if your wedding supplier uses AI in their workflow? Give it an answer. We may be able to check those results out and talk about them on episode 5, which is
5 episodes. How have we done it, mate?
Madness.
Have we all done it? And also, if you are listening on Spotify, YouTube, anything like that, please do give us a like, comment, a review, anything that is going to help us push this podcast as far as it can go. We all really enjoy doing it. We are getting get more comfortable as time goes on. But what we are, aren't we? I am.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I agree with you. I think, yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, you are. It's nice to watch your growth.
Watch this, Chris. I'm about to give us an outro. So, thank you for listening to episode 4. Chris, where can they find you?
You can find me at Diamond Film Weddings. TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. I think that's it.
And you can find John Wall at JWall Photography on Instagram, Facebook, and that's also his website.
It is. And where can we find you, Toby?
You can find me at Toby Lidstone Photography on Instagram and Facebook, all those.
Beautiful. And you can find us at Shooters Wedding Pod on YouTube, Spotify, Instagram, TikTok, whatever else we've got.
We're all over the place, aren't we?
Yeah, just about.
Anyway, thanks, guys, and we'll see you in episode 5.
Episode 5. See you later.
Woo, 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 woo.